good question, because you really have to think of it as before, during, after. Before, during, after. And I've put a few things here because there's some research that helps. Oh, I wanted to make a point of this during, just before I forget. There's a thing when we sip water, you know, maybe a half ounce, quarter ounce, and when we gulp water or Gatorade, you know, there's some thought to being, when you're during a game, is to actually take in large gulps of water, ounces. This is an ounce here. So when you're gulping, boom, boom, and every time you gulp, say you gulp 5 times, you've taken in 5 ounces worth of fluid. Then you gulp another 5 times. That's 10 ounces. That's a really good technique when you're in the middle of a game, because if you sip water, it doesn't go into your digestion. It doesn't get out there. Your stomach doesn't push it where it needs to go, which is into your muscles. It just kind of sits there. So gulping has a benefit to having the fluid get to where it needs to go. It stimulates the stomach muscles to push it where it needs to go. So that's another aspect about the middle. The after, within 15 minutes of your game, you should be eating something. Have you ever heard that or think about that?
Yeah, I've heard you have half an hour after to build on muscle from protein.
Right, because your enzymes, your gastric enzymes in your stomach, that's gastric means stomach, are available to convert to glycogen. That's when they're stimulated enough. And I'm just thinking as a funny, if you won, you really want to eat, and if you've lost, you might not want to eat, or vice versa. So the emotions, you know, shouldn't be. It should be almost like, okay, finish with that performance, eat, because if you've been performing, and there's even some research that supports, you know, soreness, muscle soreness is decreased if you eat within 15 minutes. You want to eat some carbohydrate and some protein. Mm-hmm. Now this is a protein / fat. It's a nut, you know. So a handful of nuts, another piece of fruit, you know, a handful of cereal, a bagel with some peanut butter on it, a bagel with some peanut butter, and even a little bit of jelly, you know, cottage cheese with some fruit in it. You know, you could do a lot of different things. These are kind of more carbohydrate, you know, oatmeals I brought, but, you know, oatmeal's kind of a hassle. You don't really have hot water and stuff. But, you know, it could be, if you're on a cold day, to have a thermos full. You know, something that has a protein component and a carbohydrate component.